Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to go off on a little bit of a tangent today and talk about build integrity. So what I mean by that is when you are building a car, you do not want to have contradictions in your build. If it is a race car, it should be a race car. If it is a street car, it's a street car. If it's a car that you race sometimes and drive on the street sometimes, that's still a definition for your build that you want to have blocked out before you start. There's no sense in spending $6,000 on a carbon fiber hood to shave weight if you're putting in floor mats that completely cancel that out, or putting in a roll bar that you like the look of if you're trying to go to the track and it doesn't meet the standards of the track. The reason I bring this up is we've been posting a lot of pictures about some of these street cars that we've been building where we've been prettying up the engine bays and getting a lot of comments about, oh, that robs power, or that's not the best way to do that. And that's exactly what I'm getting at. Best relative to what? You're correct. If we were building a full-blown race car for Class A with rules X, that's not the best way to do it. But if we're building a car to be driven to a car show and the main function is the cosmetic side of it, maybe it is the best way to do it. And very few people ask the correct question first before they dive into the details of the cars. What was the purpose that this car was built for? What was the design philosophy that was being targeted? And we get a lot of cars coming in that have contradictions in build philosophy. I think it's finding it really helpful to explain to people, you need to think this through before you start. It'll save you a lot of money, first of all. There's no reason to buy lightweight components for this section of it if you're just going to be adding weight in this section of it. And what is the purpose of the car? So for example, when we build some of our street cars, we go through and we define what the purpose of the car is. The purpose primarily is, how does it feel to drive? You want to get the most pleasure from driving it. That does not necessarily mean fastest. You want it to sound right, you want it to feel right, you want it to shift smooth, you want it to have the sensations that you like. Conversely, if it's a race car, there's only one focus. You want to be the fastest guy there. Doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable, doesn't matter if it doesn't look that great. If mathematically what we did is the fastest way, that's the right way. And those two don't work in the same car most of the time. So, I just want this to be a help when you go sit down and first decide, before you decide what you want to do with your car, decide what should the car be when it grows up. What is the main purpose? And don't get distracted by, well, the purpose of the car is to have these wheels. No, that's not the purpose. The purpose of the car is to give you the most pleasure in the venue that you want to use it for. Nail that down. That makes making the rest of the decisions really easy. If it is a street toy, it's about the sensation and the sounds it makes and how it feels and how it makes you feel to look at it. And then you can make decisions based off of that. You want to look a certain way. So for example, the silver NB that we built, weirdly, it's been getting a lot of flack, and basically it's not negative flack intentionally, it's people not understanding what the car is for. They see a picture of the engine bay and they immediately go, oh, you can make a lot more power with different exhaust headers, or you can make a lot more power with a different intake. Yeah, that was not the purpose of the car. The purpose of the car in that case was to be a fun, quiet street cruiser that would go to car shows, pop the hood, show off how pretty it looks, and to be reliable. So we kept the motor stock, we kept all of the emission systems on it to make it easy to pass the emissions testing. We kept the stock exhaust header on it because it's quieter than a long tube header, and that was part of the build, was we wanted to hear the exhaust note, not engine noise. The intake we made for it based on how it looks, not to make the maximum power possible with an intake. It was to make the cleanest engine bay possible, so I wanted the shortest possible intake we could get away with. We left the timing gears covered because I liked the cleaner look. On the race cars, we cut all the timing gear stuff open, like that guy there, because it's a lot easier to check the timing at the track without it in the way. So you got to define what the car is built for. So, okay, I'm done with my rant. Can't wait to see what we're building this summer. If you guys need help with anything, be sure to give us a call. And the first question I'm always going to ask you is, what is the purpose of the car? Let's define what the build is going to be about first, and then we're going to be able to really accurately and efficiently help you to achieve that. So, all right, take care.